We have a lot of NASCAR silly season news to discuss today as Justin Haley will be returning to college racing for the 2021 season. Erik Jones looks to be headed to the 43 car, the luscious 43 car, and Chase Briscoe will be driving the 14 car full-time for Stewart-Haas Racing in 2021. A lot of NASCAR silly season news. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. The first thing we're going to be talking about is Justin Haley, as it was revealed early this morning that College Racing revealed that Justin Haley will be returning to the 11 College Racing Chevrolet for the 2021 season. It honestly does not surprise me one bit that he is returning to the 11C, but College basically trolled us all. They said they have a major announcement that is coming very, very, very soon. They kept saying there's an announcement after announcement that they have a big announcement showing up really soon. And they announced something really interesting. I thought AJ Allmendinger was going to the 11 car this year, but we found out that Justin Haley is going to be returning to the 11 car for 2021. I think a lot of people are surprised because he was in the running for the 74-77 Spire car, but with that being out of the question, we'll talk about that here really shortly. Justin Haley returned to college, though. He has had overall a pretty good season in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He has 3 wins in his NASCAR Xfinity Series career, all of them coming on Super Speedways in 3 in a row. The last person to go 3 in a row on Super Speedways in Xfinity was Dale Earnhardt Jr. And I think Justin Haley has had a pretty consistently good year. He has been able to make it to the round of 8 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. And I think that Justin Haley is going to do a lot of great things next year. He might be a outside championship for person next year with some possible other drivers coming into that organization as well. I think the big question is, how many cars is College Racing going to have full-time? There is a good chance that there are at least going to be 2 full-time drivers, maybe even 3. I've heard rumors that my Center might be in the running for one of those cars. The other driver I've heard in the running is AJ Allmendinger. I think a lot of people have AJ Allmendinger probably going to the 10. And if you actually look at the promo, the car in the background, there is a lot longer name. AJ Allmendinger is looking to be the driver of the 10 car next year, and they might be having announcements coming soon for AJ Allmendinger. I mean, everyone is basically speculating he's going to the 10 car next year. But regardless of that, I am really excited for what Justin Haley is going to do next year. I think he is a very, very good driver. I mean, he has won in all 3 series. I mean, Daytona was a rain-shortened win, but he was still able to win that. I mean, he has a win in all 3 series. That's really, really awesome. But Justin Haley, I think, is going to do a lot of great things next year with this organization, help this organization improve. That organization has been getting better and better every year. They've been winning, starting to win more consistently on a consistent basis. And with AJ Allmendinger probably coming over that organization full-time, you're going to have a driver who has a really good opportunity to go there. I think it's pretty much confirmed he's going over there next year. I mean, Brett Griffin and the Door Above Clear podcast basically said it's probably going to happen. I mean, you're going to probably have Justin Haley and AJ Allmendinger probably over that organization. Maybe my side as well. We'll have to see what goes on there. And maybe with this possibility, you may see Justin Haley jump up to the NASCAR Cup Series with this team, maybe qualify for the NASCAR Daytona 500, and maybe in 2022, they bring Justin Haley up in one of Colin's cars. So they're looking at going full-time in 2022. So this might be when Justin Haley goes full-time. I do expect Justin Haley to maybe make a few starts in Cup this upcoming season in 2021, but I think the majority of the year, like I said, he will be driving for College Racing in the 2021 season. And now on to the next story. It was confirmed by Adam Stern and Matt Mayer today that Erik Jones is finalizing a deal, and he will be the driver of the 43 car full-time in 2021. Rumors began circulating about a week or 2 ago that Erik Jones was the driver in the running for this car for the 2021 season. This isn't the best option. Of course, the Hendrick Motorsports car is still available at the moment, but it's looking more likely than not that that's going to be going to another driver who just is currently at the moment applying for reinstatement. I think Erik Jones has a lot of top talent and a lot of potential, and I think that he could have a decent year with this organization. Again, I think Erik Jones has done great so far in his career, but again, he only had 2 or 3 wins with Joe Gibbs Racing cars, but I don't think those Joe Gibbs Racing cars, I mean, the 20 team, especially when you have Chris Yale, really hasn't done anything. I think Erik Jones will do decent next year in this car. I really expect him to run up front a little bit, not too much. I think he'll do the best he can in this car. I think Bubba also is getting the best out of those cars, and that car was a 20th place car. Now, he did say in an interview earlier today with Matt Mayer that he might be a little more competitive than what Bubba did, and that's very possible. He could do that, but I do think Erik Jones, this is not the best ride. This is not the best for organization. His team in general is a 20th to 25th place team. But Erik Jones, I think, could get the best out of these cars. And I think he could honestly have an opportunity to be better than he was at Joe Gibbs Racing. But that will be determined very soon. Another question I have, is it going to be Jerry Baxter being the crew chief next year with him, or is Jerry Baxter going over Bubba Wallace? I wouldn't be surprised if there is possibly a new crew chief going into the 43 car next year, because I think that there is that really good possibility that Jerry Baxter is going to be going over Bubba Wallace. Wouldn't be surprised there's another crew chief like a Chris Gale, but Chris Gale is going to remain at Joe Gibbs Racing for the 2021 season. But I'm happy Erik Jones at least is staying in the Cup Series next year, because I think Erik Jones, like I said, should not go back into the lower series because he is a Cup level driver and has a lot of Cup level potential, And I think that Erik Jones next year is going to do a lot of great things, especially driving his 43 car. What are my expectations for Erik Jones next year? I think for him, he just needs to try to finish in the top 20 standings. He doesn't need to make the playoffs next year, but he needs to at least be somewhat competitive next year and get the best out of the cars he can. To finish his top 20, I'll be really impressed. And maybe in the future, with a lot of cars going to be available after the 2021 season, I would not be shocked if Erik Jones once again is a free agent. I don't know if it's a one-year deal or a two-year deal, how long the deal is, but it's expected to be announced Erik Jones very, very shortly will be driving this car. While in the middle of recording today's episode, it was just announced a few minutes ago that Kyle Larson has officially been reinstated back into the sport, and it will be effective immediately on January 1st of 2021. The moment we have been waiting for has officially taken place. As Kyle Larson fans, he is officially back into the sport. Like I said, he will not race at all for the 2020 season anymore. Again, no surprise, but he will be back starting in 2021. It is only now a matter of time before the announcement comes out that Kyle Larson is going to be headed to Hendrick Motorsports. It's only a matter of time. We have been waiting for him to get back reinstated in the sport. I knew this was happening. It said within a week or two they're going to announce this. I honestly thought they were going to wait until the end of the season to announce this move, but the fact that they finally have announced that Kyle Larson is officially reinstated back into the sport is really, really awesome to see. He deserves to come back. He's done everything he needed to do. He went out and supported the African-American communities, went out to support the communities, worked his way back into it, done really good in the Dirt Series, and he has earned his way back into sport. I am really, really excited that Kyle Larson is coming back into the sport. And I'm expecting, like I said, him to go to the 5 car next year in 2021. Probably Lumar being the major sponsor. It's some of those Chevy Good sponsors that Rick Hendrick has. Will probably get there. On top of that, he's probably going to have his relationship with Chevrolet back up and running as well. This is really, really exciting, especially for all us Kyle Larson fans, because we've been waiting for every single day for Kyle Larson to get back into sport. I know he made a massive, massive mistake back in April by saying that racial slur in iRacing, and that incident cannot be forgiven for what he did. But the fact that he is officially going to be back in the sport starting next year is just incredible to see. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and we now get to see Kyle Larson come back to the sport and do really well. I think especially since he's probably going to Hendrick Motorsports next year, I think he is flat out going to do really well. I have him definitely having a chance of winning Homestead. I think he's definitely going to win the Bristol Dirt Race, so definitely has a competition from guys like Christopher Bell and Chase Briscoe for sure, but I think he will be the car to beat. I think that he will have a good shot at winning at some of the 2-mile tracks and definitely the other short tracks. I think we are watching a driver that is in the best position of his career. I think he has a really big breakout year as well, and I think that Kyle Larson is going to do a lot of things. But man, I am so happy that Kyle Larson has officially been reinstated. Big, big news day for sure, but awesome to see that Kyle Larson has officially been reinstated. Like I said, I thought they were going to wait a little bit to announce Kyle Larson getting reinstated back into the sport. I mean, they understand that Kyle Larson has learned and grown as a person. I think he's been maturing as a person, learning and growing, and I am so happy and so proud that Kyle Larson is officially reinstated back in sport. I know some people are going to be mad, and it's understandable, but I think a majority of NASCAR knew that Kyle Larson deserved a second chance, and Kyle Larson is officially going to get that second chance back into the sport of NASCAR. And now on to the final story of this episode. It was just announced not too long before this that Chase Briscoe will be driving the 14 car full-time in 2021, and he replaced Clint Boyer in the 14 car for 2021. I think he's honestly deserved it. Chase Briscoe has flat out dominated the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He did only win one race in 2019, but again, he had guys like Cole Custer, Christopher Bell, and Tyler Reddick dominate, but he was still one of the most consistent. As a matter of fact, I think he had the second most top tens. I think the second best average finish in the Xfinity Series in 2020. He just didn't win a lot because you had guys like Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick, and Christopher Bell dominating the Xfinity Series that year. And he set a goal earlier this year that he had to win 8 races before getting to the Cup Series. Well, he has scored an incredible 9 wins this year in 2020. He is ultimately the favorite going into the championship race, as he is officially locked in to the championship race for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He's earned it, and I think he is going to do better than Clint Bowyer did in the 14 car when Clint Bowyer drove for the team. I think, except that one year where Clint Bowyer, in 2018, was able to win 2 races, but Chase Briscoe is the one driver in the Xfinity Series who really has earned the opportunity to come up to the Cup Series next year. I said about a week or 2 ago, it's expected to be announced that he is going to be driving this car full-time for 2021. I think that for sure with him being in front of 14. I hope that Roger Boswell does go over with into that car. If not, it probably will be either Johnny Klossmeyer. I think Johnny Klossmeyer is the crew chief. Is it Johnny Klossmeyer or the other dude? I can't remember who the crew chief is for Clint Bowyer this year, but whoever it is, I hope they can do really well with Chase Briscoe next year. And like I said, I think Chase Briscoe is going to do extremely well. I know a lot of people probably have doubts about how Chase Briscoe is going to do because of how Christopher Bell, Cole Custer, and Tyler Reddick have not been able to all win races. I know Cole Custer has been able to win a race at Kentucky, but again, that was kind of in a strategy win when Akash came out late and he was able to make a 4-right pass, and that was really, really impressive to watch. But I am really extremely excited to see what Chase Briscoe is going to do next year in this car. I am really, really proud of him. And I think he's deserving. I think he's one of the most talented drivers in NASCAR right now, and he really, really deserves this opportunity to go up to the Cup Series this year. I think he is going to do a lot of great things with this organization next year. What are my expectations for Chase Briscoe next year in 2021? I think that Chase Briscoe is definitely going to be a contender for the playoffs. I don't think there's any question about that. I think that car is very, very capable of making the playoffs. It has made the playoffs every year except 2017 when Clint Bowyer missed the playoffs on his first year. Like I said, I think that he is going to do an extremely well job in that car next year. I think he's going to do really, really well in that car. I think he's going to perform really, really strong in that 14 car. He's earned it this year. He's gotten better every year as a driver, in the truck series when he was driving BKR. I mean, the Ford development really wants him to move up and do a lot of things with this organization. I think, like I said, I believe that Chase Briscoe is really, really, really going to do extremely well next year in the Cup Series. I am really excited for what Chase Briscoe is going to bring to the table, because I think you're going to have a really strong core lineup for SHR next year. You're going to have Eric Almirola is really consistent next year. You're going to have Cole Custer, who has gotten better as the year has gone on. You're going to have Kevin Harvick, who's dominated the series this year in Cup. And you're going to have Chase Briscoe, one of the rising stars in motorsports, one of the most talented drivers in motorsports. I think he's going to do a lot of great things with Stewart-Haas Racing, which is his childhood hero, by the way. And I think he is going to do a lot of great things in this car. With the announcement today of Erik Jones and Chase Briscoe going to the cars, this is where silly season comes into question, because there are only a few rides now available in NASCAR. You do have the Rick Ware Racing cars still available. You still do have the 2 Front Row Motorsports cars. Those expected at Michael McDowell and John Nemechek are expected to probably return to organizations. The only high-profile rides are Spire, Rick Ware Racing, and a couple other rides like Gone Brothers. Most of the major rides in this sport are officially bought out for the 2021 season. And the question is, with the 98 car, I think that's probably going to go to Riley Herbst, in all honesty. I think Riley Herbst will probably be the driver of the 98 car for the Xfinity Series in 2021. Man, silly season continues to be crazy, and we're going to start to find out all the plans and pieces for the 2021 season. But anyway, that is going to be for today's longer video on all the NASCAR news I have to share for you guys today. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on so you'll be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links description below for that, and comment your thoughts on today's video. How do you feel about Justin Haley going to college racing for 2021? Are you happy about that or not? How do you feel about Erik Jones going to Richard Petty Motorsports? How do you feel about Chase Briscoe driving to 14? How do you feel about Kyle Larson getting reinstated back into the sport? Are you happy about that or not? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you do like us so YouTube can recommend more of my videos out to you guys. If you do that, I really appreciate it. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's longer video, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.